My name is Laura. I'm 37, and this is the story of how a single word, no, changed my life in ways I never imagined. For years, I lived in the shadows of other people's expectations. I was a dedicated office manager at a small company, someone who rarely said no, who always pushed herself to please everyone. At work, at home, with friends. I believed that saying yes was the key to success and acceptance. But beneath the surface, I was slowly losing myself. I had just returned from a long business trip when the turning point came. My company was preparing for a critical project, and the pressure was mounting. My boss asked me to work late every night that week, skipping dinners, missing my yoga classes, and ignoring the little joys that once kept me grounded. One evening, exhausted and drained, my phone buzzed. It was an invitation from a close friend to join a weekend getaway, a chance to unwind, to escape. But in my mind, the word no hovered, heavy with guilt and obligation. First, I almost declined. How could I leave my responsibilities unfinished? How could I abandon my colleagues when they needed me? Yet, something inside whispered that I deserved a break. Said yes. That weekend was unlike anything I had experienced in years. Away from the fluorescent office lights and never-ending to-do lists, I reconnected with the simple pleasures of life. Fresh air, laughter, long talks under the stars. I realized I had been living in a constant state of fatigue, trapped in a cycle of doing without being. On the last night, as we sat around a bonfire, a friend shared her own story about learning to say no, and how it transformed her relationships and sense of self. It was a revelation. Returning to the city, I felt different. Not just rested, but awakened. I began to set boundaries, gently at first, saying no to overtime, to unnecessary meetings, and even to social obligations that drained me. It wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, whispers of self-criticism, and resistance from those around me who were used to my old habits. But I held firm, discovering strength I hadn't known I possessed. Slowly, I built a life that balanced work and wellness. I returned to yoga, started journaling, and spent evenings reading novels instead of emails. Friends noticed a lighter spark in me, a calm confidence. One afternoon, I met an older woman at the library who shared her journey of self-discovery after years of similar struggles. She told me that no is not a rejection but a declaration of self-respect. Her words echoed through my mind as I reflected on how far I had come, from exhaustion to empowerment. The transformation wasn't about grand gestures but small, consistent choices to honor my own needs. Now, when I say no, it's not out of defiance but love for myself. And with that love, my life has blossomed into something fuller, richer, and deeply satisfying. This story isn't just mine. It belongs to anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by the demands of others and forgotten their own voice. If you're listening, know this. Saying no can be the beginning of saying yes to the life you truly deserve.